Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. It's 6 o'clock. This is a regular meeting of the Township of Washington in accordance with the requirements of New Jersey statutes regarding open public meetings. Notice of the meeting was legally advertised in the Carrier Post and the South Jersey Times and posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building. Fire exits are located through the double doors to your left and right. Please silence all mobile devices. This meeting is being videotaped. Anyone who does not wish to be seen on television may be excused. This will be shown on Comcast Channel 9 every week, Sunday at 9 p.m., Wednesday at 7 p.m., Friday at 10 p.m., and Saturday at 10 p.m., and will continue until the next meeting. The meeting is not being live streamed tonight, correct? Okay, it's not being live streamed tonight. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bennett?
Here.
Mr. Brown?
Here.
Mr. Delapia?
Here.
Mr. Yurkis?
Present.
Mr. Deverello?
Here.
Mayor Burns? Mr. Russo? Mr. Wright?
Present. Okay, moving on presentations. Start with Chief Gersick.
Good evening, everyone. It's truly an honor to stand before you tonight as we celebrate the incredible spirit of community and partnership that makes Washington Township such a special place to live and serve. As Chief of Police, I have the privilege of leading a department committed to not only law enforcement, but to fostering trust, connection, and care within our community. The mission would not be possible without the unwavering support of residents who share our vision and work alongside of us to make Washington Township a safe and welcoming place for all. Tonight, I am proud to recognize two outstanding individuals with the Community Caretaker Awards. This award is reserved only for those who go above and beyond to support our department's mission to protect and serve, not only through their words, but through their actions and deeds. Mike Graff and Jeff Novak, can you please come up? Mike Graff, your contributions have been invaluable, whether through sponsorships or donations or your constant encouragement. You exemplify the best of what it means to be a neighbor who cares deeply about our shared community. Mike, your dad would definitely be proud of you tonight. Jeff, your dedication to our community outreach programs has had a lasting impact, not just on our department, but on the countless lives you have touched through the police department with your kindness and generosity. On behalf of the men and the women of the Washington Township Police Department, thank you for your commitment, your compassion, and your care. You inspire us, and you set the standard for what it means to be a true partner in community service. Congratulations, and thank you for everything you do for our town.
It was backed up to Defra.
All right, moving on. Can I get a motion to approve the bill list for... Oh, Colette, that's right. I'm sorry, Colette. Report on best practice presented by Colette.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. My name is Colette Backish, and I am the CFO for Washington Township. And I'm here to discuss Washington Township's best practices inventory results for this year. Just for a bit of background on what best practices inventory is, the state of New Jersey promulgates an inventory or survey to all municipalities to obtain vital information about the status of their governmental practices. This inventory is meant to assess compliance with New Jersey statutes and operational procedures. There were over 70 questions, both scored and unscored, and the scoring for each municipality is based on the answers to the questions in a variety of topics: ethics, budget, affordable housing, and redevelopment, just to name a few. This year, the minimum score that must be reached was 35 in order for Washington Township to receive a full state financial aid payment. I am happy to report that Washington Township scored well above the minimum and will be receiving 100% of our state aid in the year of 2024. Thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, I will be happy to answer.
Any questions?
We have a dollar
It's over 3 million. It's in the budget for, I don't have the exact dollar amount. They send that out. It should be in the next couple weeks. I can give
Yeah,
you
just let
that
us know,
dollar
you know,
amount.
right? Yeah, that's fine.
when we do
Just let us
receive
know.
it.
Yep. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, moving on. Can I get a motion to approve the bill list for November 26, 2024?
Motion.
Roll call?
Mr. Yerkes?
Yes.
Mr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Delapia?
Yes.
Mr. Deverello?
Yes. Can I get a motion to approve the regular minutes for October 23rd, 2024, and the special meeting minutes for November 7th, 2024?
Motion.
Roll call, please?
Mr. Yerkes?
Yes.
Mr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Delapia?
Yes.
Mr. Deverello?
Yes. Moving on to ordinances. Ordinance 0017-2024, ordinance amending the Code of the Township of Washington, Chapter 2, Article 9, Department of Law Enforcement, and Chapter 80, Article 1, Fees. This ordinance is up for adoption after public hearing. Can I get a motion open to the public on ordinance 0017-24?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone in public wishing to speak about this ordinance? Seeing none, can I get a motion to close to the public on ordinance 17-2024? Can I get a motion to approve ordinance 17-2024?
Motion.
Second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Yerkes?
Yes.
Mr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Delapia?
Yes.
Mr. Deverello?
Yes. Moving on, ordinance 0018-224, ordinance amending Chapter 80 of the Code of Washington entitled Fees. This ordinance is up for introduction only. Can I get a motion to introduce ordinance 0018-24?
Motion.
Roll call?
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Sorry. Mr. Yerkes?
Yes.
Mr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Delapia?
Yes.
Mr. Deverello?
Yes. Public hearing and adoption will be held on December 17, 2024. Ordinance 0019-24, ordinance adopting the amended redevelopment plan for the Delsey Drive redevelopment area in accordance with the requirements of the local redevelopment and housing law, NJSA 40A 12A-1. This ordinance is up for introduction only. Can I get a motion to introduce ordinance 019-24?
Motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Yerkes?
Yes.
Mr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Delapia?
Yes.
Mr. Deverello?
Yes. Public hearing and adoption will be held on December 17, 2024. Ordinance 0020-2024, ordinance of the Township of Washington, County of Gloucester, and the State of New Jersey repealing Township Code, Chapter 216, Streets and Sidewalks, Section 38 through 41 pertaining to sidewalk maintenance, and amending Chapter 179, Property Maintenance and Housing Standards, Section 7, Hazards and Unsanitary Conditions, duties of owners and operators to include maintenance of sidewalks. This ordinance is for introduction only. Can I get a motion to introduce ordinance 0020-24?
Excuse me, Council President.
Yep.
The title should be, it's Section 39 through 41.
Oh, okay, it says here 38.
Yes, that's
Supposed to be 39?
incorrect. Supposed to be 39.
Okay.
Notice in the first paragraph of the draft ordinance, it says 39.
Okay, all right. Strike that, actually, 39 through 41. This ordinance is up for introduction only. Can I get a motion to introduce ordinance 0020-2024?
Motion.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Yerkes?
Yes.
Mr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Delapia?
Yes.
Mr. Deverell?
Yes, public hearing and adoption will be held on December 17, 2024. Moving on to resolutions, the following resolutions are by consent agenda only, require a vote for all listed. Each one must be read by title. If any member of the council wishes to hear one removed and heard separately, they need to indicate prior to reading the titles. Does anyone need anything removed? Madam Clerk, would you please read the resolutions, please?
Resolution 280, resolution appointing a municipal housing liaison. Resolution 281, resolution authorizing a change in custodian of petty cash fund for the Township of Washington. 282, resolution accepting bids and awarding a contract on an as-needed basis for snow plowing services throughout the Township of Washington for the Department of Municipal Services for the 2024-2025 season. 283, resolution awarding a contract for the lease of property owned by the Township of Washington known as 220 Fish Pond Road, Sewell, New Jersey, 08080, Block 85.32, Lot 21, for agricultural purposes. 284, resolution awarding a contract for the lease of property owned by the Township of Washington known as 339 Salina Road, Block 20, Lot 3. 285, resolution requesting approval of revenue and appropriations from the Department of Community Affairs for the opioid settlement grant in the amount of $23,095. $23,090.
$95.50. Yeah. That one got me, too.
Thank you. 286, resolution requesting approval of revenue and appropriations from the Department of Community Affairs for the Washington Lake Park Inclusive Playground Project Grant in the amount of $750,000. 287, resolution authorizing the Township Tax Collector to cancel any tax refunds or delinquencies of less than $10 for the calendar year 2024 in accordance with NJSA 40A:5-17.1. 288, resolution canceling taxes for Brandy Wilson, 270 Green Tree Road, effective December 31st, 2023. 289, resolution canceling taxes for Brandon Matt, a totally disabled veteran, 55 Saddlebrook Drive, effective August 9th, 2024. Resolution canceling, 290, resolution canceling taxes for David Eckinger, a totally disabled veteran, 423 Greenview Road, effective August 13th, 2024. 291, resolution canceling taxes for Curtis Price, a totally disabled veteran, 325 Johnson Road, effective August 28th, 2024. 292, resolution canceling taxes for Brian Scavetta, a totally disabled veteran, 16 Sherry Court, effective October 9th, 2024. Resolution canceling taxes for James Early, a totally disabled veteran, 52 Plumtree Drive, effective October 30th, 2024. 294, resolution canceling taxes for Sarah Oberholzer, a totally disabled veteran, 914 Forbes Street, effective October 31st, 2024. 295, resolution canceling taxes for Francis Fisher, a totally disabled veteran, 209 Forest Drive, effective November 4th, 2024. Resolution approving the release of a maintenance guarantee for Heddenberg Pinnacle Place Phase 1, Project 0818P363.I, escrow 1920. 297, resolution approving the release of a maintenance guarantee for Heddenberg Pinnacle Place Phase 2, project number 0818P363.I2, escrow 1920-2. 298, resolution to approve an application and contract for bingo and games of chance at the Washington Township Senior Center. 299, resolution approving a large gathering application for St. John's Church of Turnersville, Inc. 300, resolution approving 2024 massage parlor license for Jasmine Spa in the Township of Washington. 301, resolution awarding a contract for the purchase of two 2024 Chevy Tahoes for the police department. 302, resolution authorizing the cancellation of stale-dated bank reconciliation items for various accounts for the Township of Washington. 303, resolution authorizing the sale by public bid of certain tax sale certificates owned by the Township of Washington pursuant to NJSA 54:5-114 ET.SEQ.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Can I get a motion to approve resolutions R280-2024 to R303-2024?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Yerkes?
Yes.
Mr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Delapia?
Yes.
Mr. Debarello?
Yes. Moving on to old business and new business and reports. Let's start with Councilman Rich Bennett. Councilman?
All righty. Coming up in mid-December, which will be December 14th, the Old Stone House, through the Historical Preservation Commission, will have the Magic of Christmas. We'll have a tree lighting at 5:30, Polar Express reading, bake sale, music, vendors, food, photos with Santa, activities, and mail your letter to Santa. It's a great opportunity, especially for families, to come out, and we have a great Santa. He's really great. I mean, so we recommend that people come out and participate in this event. And as usual, do not speed. So make sure that everyone is slowing down and make sure that they're driving the speed limit. We've got to be careful, especially now that it's getting darker out. But we got to respect the speed limit in the town. And I thank the police chief for constantly taking care of speeding tickets throughout the weeks and months. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilman Bennett. Councilman Brown?
Two things from the library. They're winding down their program, Food for Fines, for November. So if you have any fines up there, make sure you bring some food over and they'll take care of your fines. Second thing, cupcake picker at 1 p.m. in the adult meeting room. Celebrate the holidays with cupcakes, learn decorating practices, and create cupcake designs like a pro. Supplies are provided and she'll show you how to decorate cupcakes. Decorate them and take them home and eat. From the fire department, Santa runs are now being posted on the Township Fire Department website. Just take note for the specific times and dates for the fire company taking Santa around. Bear with them, they got a lot of streets to cover. And thank these guys for their efforts every year of making sure Santa gets around to see everybody.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Yerkes?
Thank you. I know our Open Space Committee has been busy this past fall with giveaways at the park, different flowers and shade trees. Excuse me if I got, maybe it may not be Open Space, maybe the other committee. But our friends who care very much about the environment have been busy over at Washington Lake Park. And I want to give a special shout out for Veterans Day celebration this month. It was very well attended by the residents of Washington Township. Special thank to our veterans for what they've done and the public attendance. And I also want to thank the Washington Township Band. Did an excellent job keeping us entertained throughout the program. And a special thanks to our guest speaker. That's it.
All right, thank you, Councilman Bennett. Mayor Burns?
I just want to say that the township Christmas tree lighting this year, the annual one we do at the park, is December 6th, which is next Friday. It starts at 6, the village opens, and the tree will be lit at 7. And we're asking this year to bring an unwrapped toy for Toys for Tots. It was a big success last year, I believe, so it was pretty packed. So I'm hoping for warm weather.
Yeah.
Not freezing weather,
It was warm
but
last
it'll be
year,
a good event. And then the other thing is that the Light Up the Township Holiday House decorating contest is on its way. We're accepting applications. I know the agenda says December 2nd, but I've extended that to Friday, December 6th to submit your house if you want it to be considered. We will be judging them on Friday night, December 13th. Yes, Friday the 13th. So
Yeah.
be prepared.
Yeah.
And then we'll announce the winners and give awards out at our meeting or your meeting on Wednesday, December 17th, or Tuesday, December 17th.
Thank you, Mayor.
That's it.
Mr. Wright, you have anything? Council Vice President?
Thank you, Council President. First, I want to mention, if everybody heard about John DeMarco got hit by a car a few weeks ago on Fries Mill Road, the police department had 0 leads. They had one fuzzy photo that was very hard to make out. By making thousands of calls and knocking on doors, they actually were able to turn that lead into a suspect. So I want to give a great shout out to our detectives and our police department for bringing a little closure to that family, during the holidays. It's not going to bring John back, but it's great to see the work our police department does. So great job, Chief and his department. Also, the high school football team lost a tough one on Friday night. It was great to go to the games, last couple games, to see the community rally around them. They did something, I believe they went to the state game since 1995.
95, yeah.
So they did a great job, lost a tough one on Friday night, so town was proud to see them do well, and it's great to see a great group of kids having fun. Lastly, Thanksgiving's on Thursday. The police department had their food drive last Wednesday and Thursday. We had people donate $3,000 worth of food. One guy kept coming out getting carts. He filled 5 shopping carts up. So it's great to see the community rally around people in need. So check on your neighbors, anybody you know. It is time to be thankful, but also to give. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
All right, thank you, Council Vice President. A couple of things. One is congratulations. We had 8 officers that got promotions, so congratulations to them. Also, high school football team, congratulations again to them. Happy birthday to Winnie, who turned 100. So she's 100 years young, so we all got to spend some time with her. We had our play at the high school. We got to see it. Harry Potter play was a big success. Also, in our lobby here at the municipal building, we have Letters for Santa box. Just have the kids drop off their letters. The box is out there. We're open every day, Monday through Friday. Also have a Toys for Tot box as well, so please bring an unwrapped toy you can put inside there. Had a great event for the craft fair. Anybody got to see that? That's always a packed event. Just touching on what Council Vice President said, yeah, it was pretty awesome to see all the people who were giving to the meals program. So we have a couple meals programs that we have here. We have the one the Chief does, which is a huge success. Then we have one with the Meals on Wheels, which is actually on Thanksgiving Day. So anybody in the county needs a hot meal, we can deliver that meal. Please get in touch with me. We can do that. That's Paul Dilks and the Kathy McGee meal program. We always talk about Kathy McGee. When you say, can one person make a difference? Kathy McGee was that one person. She made a real difference. That program was started, I think, almost 17, 18 years ago. Kathy's no longer with us, but she did a great job. She was an amazing person, anybody who knew Kathy. Also, Jerry from the Total Turf Foundation, also, they're going to be feeding 5,200 people around the county. So we really do live in a great place, a great town. People are so generous. What a great job they did. And the last thing I want to touch on is just the election. People think in our town that elections have to be so nasty, and 3 people on this day has proved that doesn't have to be that way. So thank you to them. Thank you to all the candidates who put their name on the line. But they really did a great job. We had a pledge here in town. There was no negative campaigning. They stuck to that. We had a great election on both sides. They're great people. I've been honored to work with both of them, and also Councilman Bennett as well. But when people say it can't be done, we proved that Washington Township can do it. It doesn't have to be that nastiness. We're not Washington, D.C. We're Washington Township, and I've heard people say that before. But so thank you to all the candidates that stuck to that pledge, because I think over the last couple of years we've seen some really, really tough elections with some really nasty stuff. So I think it was great on both sides. Congratulations to everybody. That's all I have. Okay, now we're going to move on to public participation. Please follow the public decorum posted, which is located on the back of the public agenda. Please limit your comments to 5 minutes. Once you've completed your comments or questions, please take a seat. I'll ask if any member of the governing body or designee wishes to address your comments or questions asked by the person who spoke. Can I get a motion to open to the public?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody in public wishing to speak? Just please state your name and your address for the record.
My name is Alicia Deemer. I live at 2 Bells Lake Drive, Turner's. I am the coach of the Unlimited Cheerleaders. That's the 7th and 8th grade, 12 and 13-year-olds. Recently, we won a competition in Wildwood that was ran by Spirit Brands that's known nationally. Not only did we win first place in our division, but we won grand champs. That means we had the most points scored in our entire age bracket. It was a very honorable win and has only been done once before in this town, and that was back in 2019. Before Spirit Brands announced our names, they explained winning the award would mean to get to go to the Grand Championship competition. They only hold 2 of them. One is in Alabama and one's in Atlantic City at the Showboat on March 29th. As you can imagine, after hearing them explain this amazing opportunity and then announcing Washington Township, our 12 and 13-year-old girls were so excited. Watching their reactions would bring anyone to tears. I have the videos that over 80 parents from my team alone had sent me. A lot of my girls have been cheering in this town since they were 5 years old. This is the last year before going to high school, and they're ending it as grand champs. That's amazing, right? Not so much. Both me and my other coach had to look them in the eyes that were full of excitement and hope, and tell them that we may not be able to go because we have nowhere to practice. I'm guessing people think there are a bunch of little girls that just stand on the sidelines of football games and say, "Go team." Let me enlighten the folks who have no idea what goes into this. We currently have 206 cheerleaders. 206 because we sell out and we have to shut down registration early. We start practice the first week of August, same as football, and we practice 3 days a week in August, same as football. Thank goodness we can do this thanks to the park. Once school starts, we practice 2 days a week at whatever school we're allowed to use. That's 104 hours we are allowed to use. That's actually 104, but we have 6 teams. We actually have 2 teams for the K through 2 program because cheer has gotten so popular. So each team practicing 104 hours a season is 624 hours. This is not including the practices on Saturdays before competitions that the wrestling coaches are so nice to let us use their gyms, since their season doesn't even start until the end of ours. Clearly, we use our schools. Lost my spot. Clearly, we use theirs because our schools are closed. I don't know about you, but I've been to basketball games, wrestling matches, plays, concerts, and more at schools on weekends. And speaking of schools being closed, we can't practice on holidays that are recognized by the school. I want to thank Bunker Hill for allowing our team to use their gym. This has been so nice considering we have to rent a pod at $280 a month just to keep our 10-foot, 100-pound mats in. We flip the 10-foot mats out of the pod, there's 9 of them, and then roll them into the gym, roll out the mats, and tape them every single practice, taking about a half hour away from our practice. These mats are essential for our athletes. There's about 9 of them, and you may not think this is a big deal, but I invite you to come help us on a Monday or Wednesday. But not this Wednesday because school's closed and we can't practice. Not all of our athletes are as lucky as mine. The younger squads bounce around from school. Sometimes parents are going the wrong school because it's never consistent. At those schools, they're using 2-inch blue mats, and the schools are nice enough to let us use theirs. Sounds good, but not so much. Our athletes are flipping and being thrown in the air. The blue mats aren't even big enough, which is hindering our younger teams. Once they get on the competition mats, a real mat, their little minds are confused, and once again, their confidence turns into sheer terror. They are 5 years old to 9 years old. You may be thinking you guys have a gym, why are you complaining? Well, it was fine and good, and we were used to taking back seat and not being recognized for a lot. But guess what? Basketball started. What happened? Our squads got kicked out of all of the gyms that we've been in since September, and now we all have to share. My practice is cut short so the 5th and 6th graders could come in and have a place to practice since they got kicked out of the high school. Now that basketball is there, we have to wheel our 10-foot, 100-pound mats down the gym, into the hallway, down to the cafeteria where we can't fully practice because when we throw our girls 25 feet in the air, they'll hit their heads on the stage light. I won't even get into all the towns that have provided a safe place for their athletes to practice, one of which is Gloucester Township, who consistently wins because they give their athletes the resources they need to succeed. They won and are going to Florida. What a great experience, yet I can't take my girls to Atlantic City. There's about 10 gyms in this district. We can't constantly have one or a place to store our mats. My question to you is, why do you not take the cheerleaders seriously? Why do we take backseat? Why has no one ever taken an interest in helping 206 athletes? That's 400 plus tax-paying parents. Is cheerleading not a sport? I assure you my athletes put their bodies in just as much risk as any other sport. Would a $50,000 pool barn be too much to ask for? Soccer has a field. Baseball and football have beautiful complexes. Wrestling has their own building. Softball has a barn. Every single sport but ours. Again, I invite you to come to my practice from start to finish. God knows I could use help with the mats. We don't want to fail our girls and show them We want to show them that we believe in their sport and their dreams. These girls are our future. One day, it may be your daughter, niece, or friend. One day, these girls could be your leader. I will set the example for them that anything is possible as long as you stand for what you believe in. I do not feel comfortable telling a 5-year-old that they're less than. They are just as much of an athlete as every other child in this town. It's up to you to help show them they are important and respected. We know there is land and buildings that can show these athletes they are worthy enough. And just as, out of respect for other athletes, we could even share on seasons that we are off. If you need help understanding, I have multiple pictures and videos of stunts most athletes would never dream of even being able to do. Girls cheering at championship games in the pouring rain. Also, girls crying their eyes out because they lost to a town whose council supported and respected them. Please show these girls Washington Township is a great place to represent. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Alicia, we can talk after the meeting, because Crystal's here, and we've been talking about that situation for about a year now. So we could talk after the meeting. Thank you. Thank you
Also,
for-
girls, congratulations, but we'll definitely have a conversation about this. So this is the first time I'm kind of hearing about this. What each board has a liaison to the board, so sometimes we share the information, but we'll definitely have a conversation. But again, congratulations. Nobody's less here. We want everybody to succeed, so we'll definitely address that. Anybody else want to speak? Just need your name and your address for the record.
Yep, Ray Scelfo. I live at 63 Winfield Circle in Sewell. How's everybody doing tonight?
Hey, Ray, how are you?
Good. Just had a few questions, really. One of the ordinance I think you guys introduced tonight, the 20-2024, had to do with the sidewalk maintenance stuff. Just a clarification and question, really. I know in my development, there's a lot of trees that were, I guess, installed by the township originally, and a lot of the times the roots kind of go underneath the sidewalk and kind of, screw them up. So I've actually seen a lot of issues in my neighborhood with that occurring. When I read through the ordinance, it seemed like the onus would now be on the resident's owner to fix these problems, where I see that kind of not being completely fair to the residents kind of walking into that situation. So I'm just asking to challenge you to see, what we can do to maybe, if it's a tree that was planted by the township, maybe we can talk about like that being an exception, and anything else, those kinds of things. Just something like that. Second thing, obviously the struck person, terrible thing that happened. And, I ride my bike along all throughout township. I run on the streets. Township's not a very walkable city. There's not a lot of bike paths. There is some bike paths when you start going, I guess, towards the middle school and stuff like that. And I ride those, and those are great. I mean, it'd be great to see a lot more of that stuff. And, now it gets really dark early. Honestly, our town is not very well lit either. And it's difficult to see. I was turning right on off Egg Harbor Road to come down, going towards the police station where the bank is. Yeah. And there was a guy crossing at night, and it's very difficult to see. It's close calls, right? So just visibility throughout the township, something that I think we should take more seriously, or see what we can do. Yeah. Maybe upgrading some of the lights to LEDs, get some of those metal halides out of there, put solar panels up there to kind of support that, things like that. And then the last thing, I guess to challenge things a little more is, I've looked at the budget and stuff like that. It seems that year over year, it's close to a 10% increase to the cost of things. Curious is, are we challenging ourselves to see how we can maintain the cost and keep them lower, or at a level that is, more feasible for everybody to kind of swallow? I know that kind of hits the taxpayers. It's continually increasing year over year, and we kind of have to battle it out. So just another challenge to everybody to see what we can do maybe to kind of lower or kind of maintain. But yeah, that's a bit. Appreciate it.
Some of the concern you have about the taxes, the most important thing I always tell people is there's three entities to taxes, and that's most important on what we control and what we don't. So the first thing is municipal is our responsibility. Board of Ed is through the board, and then the county. So again, a lot of times the taxes on the county this year were flat. The school board went up over 5%, and then we went up 6.5%, but we hadn't had an increase a big increase, other than 1 cent for assessed value since for like 7 years. So a lot of times we are looking at shared services opportunities between us and also the school board. And, and we're looking at ways to save money. Can't say we're ever going to have ability to say your taxes won't increase. But again, we have 3 entities also that need help too. So again, it's important that, you also, I recommend you do is speak at the school board meetings too.
Oh, I will be.
And, I go to every school board meeting and to tell you that it's important that they look at some options too, because, there's a lot of things going over there too. And also, on the county level, we don't see anybody saying, hey, we're going to give you back monies. Like we send $32 million to the county. You think the county gives us a refund at the end of the year? They don't.
No.
I wish they would. And that way, if you're not spending the amount of money in your budget, then you should return it back to the taxpayers.
Right.
So, and also the idea about the lighting, I agree with you that there are a lot of areas that, and especially when you were talking about the Citizens Bank area, I would agree. There's areas that lighting needs to be more brilliant. Even though there's a light there, I think we need to work on lighting in town.
Yeah, personally, I like the guy who was crossing the street. I could not see him. Yeah. He was on his phone, not paying attention. But that's besides the fact. It's our responsibility to make sure that we don't let that happen, right? So
It's also responsible to cross the correct intersections too. Somebody can just cross anyway. That's a safety hazard.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That happens. But just so you understand too, taxes for this year, we were able to keep a relatively low increase with managing and changing the way we do our trash.
I saw that. Yeah.
Did it change some things? Yes, but for the better, keeping the cost for trash collection down is where we would have additional ways of collecting the trash. We could have like 75% of the cost for trash removal. We kept ours relatively low in the 30% area. Help not increase the budget that much.
Yep.
But financially, we're always going to have some type of a small tax increase each year because of inflation,
Oh yeah.
pensions, cost of health insurance. It just has to be managed, and we have financial obligations and bonds to meet, and also we have to maintain a healthy surplus that if we ever have an emergency, that's where certain funding comes from. And keeping a healthy surplus also keeps our bond rating up high. So for the last 2 years, we're residents, we've been affected by the tax increase, and its council wants to minimize what's going to happen next year. We realize it's been two increases in a year, for 2 years. We're concerned about it as well too, but we have to run a town, and it has to be run fiscally responsible.
Completely understand. Again, more of a challenge, and I think this is one of my first meetings that I'm coming to. I want to get more involved,
Welcome
so
your comment.
definitely would like to just understand things. I like to ask a lot of questions. I'm not necessarily when I ask them coming at you with anything. It's just more from my understanding.
So, right, we actually already started on the budget for next year to try to get ahead of the issues you're talking about. But when we are close to the budget time, we will have a public meeting with all the department heads, and they will go over we notify it in the newspaper, it'll be on the website. You're welcome to come, listen, ask questions. Like I said, we already started to try to get ahead of the curve to make sure that our services stay where people are happy, but then we keep the costs as tight as possible. Like Don said, my mom lives here, my brothers live here, our taxes go up too.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that, we get what we pay for, but we don't overpay.
I'll say that the trash was over GME, service-wise, way better than what it was, like tenfold.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
We've noticed that. Ray, also, our phone numbers and our emails are right here on this paper right in front of us, on the table. Always feel free to email or call us, any questions. And even like I see Maxine on the audience, she'll tell us, we'll take your phone call. So if you have questions and if we don't have the answer right then and there, we'll get you the answer. Right? So we don't pretend to have all the answers, but contact us, let us know, get involved. Any questions you have, please reach out anytime.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we really do like people to come to the meetings. And the more you come, the more you're going to learn and see what's going on. Because, sometimes in the back, you're a resident, you don't see all the stuff, but you're more than welcome to learn anything you need about what's going on in town. You're the resident, you're the one who pays the taxes, you're the ones we're accountable to.
Mhm.
So that's important.
Thank you again.
Thanks,
Ray?
I appreciate you coming.
Ray, thank you for those questions. For your information and the public, because they need to know this, we have over 200 employees in this town covered by health insurance. Health insurance to us went up 23%. 23%. Plus, we have a number of patrol cars with police out on the street 24/7. Gasoline prices, as we all know, have gone up and up and up. We're very hopeful that by mid-August, midsummer, that we're going to start to see prices come down in some aspects, and we can get a control on what we have to spend. But this council is dedicated to the public's health and safety. And, we back up Chief Gersick 100%, keeping our streets safe. We see the crime log every week. There's a lot of dangerous people out there. I think our police do a very good job in keeping us safe in our residences. And, if it costs more, we have to hire more patrol people, we'll do it. Because I think that's why a lot of people move here to Washington Township. They like the safety. They like the parks. They want the freedom, let their kids go out and play in their front yard or go down the park without too much concern of their safety, although you always have to be concerned with their safety in today's crime-ridden world. But you bring up some excellent questions. I'd like to see you come back to more meetings. And like the other people up here said, we're only 18.2% of the tax budget. The county collects over 22%, and the Board of Ed between 58 and 63. My question would be to our free holders or our new commissioners, Pureland Industrial Center and all those warehouses and all those industrial sites in West Deptford, Logan Township are bringing in millions and millions and millions of dollars in tax revenue. Where's it going? I know one place it's been going is the Port of Paulsboro. We're dumping millions of dollars into that. I don't know what kind of return we're getting. I never see a report on that. But you bring up some excellent questions, and that's why we're up here, to try to resolve those problems. But thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
Anybody else want to speak? Please come on. Just state your name and address for the record. Just state your name and address for the record.
Anthony Berzachello, this is my wife, Cynthia Berzachello.
Hi, how are you?
We live at 25 Ariga Lane. We are complaining about chickens from our neighbor at 27 Ariga Lane. We started these complaints, I guess, about mid-August, and nothing has been resolved. He's only moved the chickens, hid the chickens, and has no intention of getting rid of the chickens. So we're wondering, what's going on, because we keep writing complaints and nothing is being done.
Regal. What development is that? I'm sorry.
Hidden Lake. I think it's called
It's
Hidden Lakes? Okay.
Hidden Lakes.
So you made the complaint already with the zoning office?
Several
Several.
times.
Okay.
Several.
Several.
Next Friday.
Before you leave, when the meeting's over, we want to have a conversation. We'll get your number, and I'll just double check it as well tomorrow, and just make sure we're on the same page.
Okay. All right. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Ladies.
Anyone else? Seeing none? Oh, Leon, okay. Make it quick, Leon.
So, Leon Lackritz, head of the Shade Tree Advisory Committee, and I just want to comment on one of the questions or one of the issues that was addressed with regard to trees. As to the best of my knowledge, the township never planted any trees. If a township does plant a tree, they are totally responsible for fixing whatever sidewalks, roads, etc. So if the township didn't plant a tree, it's the responsibility of the homeowner to the curb. That's-
Just to kind of follow up with what this ordinance does, this ordinance, the proposed ordinance doesn't create any new responsibilities. It simply moves it from Chapter 216 to Chapter 179, so it falls under the property maintenance, where really it is more efficient to be reviewed by the property maintenance in the same fashion as they review other issues with properties.
Anyone else looking to speak? Seeing none, can I motion to close to the public?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned. Next meeting will be, motion for adjournment. So move.
Aye.
Adjourned. Next meeting is December 4th.